We've all seen it happen. Huge, company-wide transformation projects, they can be messy, right? Super complex, super hard to manage. Well, today, we're going to look at SAP's playbook for taming that chaos. It's called the Rise with SAP Methodology, and it's all about bringing a clear, structured path to the madness.
I mean, just think about it for a second. We're talking about shifting entire operations to the cloud, completely redesigning a supply chain, maybe even reinventing how a company handles its finances. These are gigantic undertakings. The stakes are sky high. So how on earth do you make sure a project that big doesn't just completely fall apart?
It really is. It's a journey that's just loaded with potential traps and pitfalls. Getting it right can mean a massive win, but getting it wrong? Oof, that's a costly failure. This is exactly the moment when you need a clear, reliable guide to show you the way.
And that guide, well, that's what we're here to talk about. SAP didn't just recognize the problem. They built a specific, structured solution for it, and they call it the Rise with SAP Methodology. So what is this thing, really? At its heart, you can think of the Rise with SAP Methodology as a GPS for business transformation. It's a framework, a roadmap that's built to take partners and customers step by step through the whole process. The main goal? To make sure everyone is on the same page, following the same path, and heading toward a successful launch. So how does it actually work? Well, it's all about practical outcomes. The journey is broken down into these really clear phases, and it cleverly uses tools from the already proven SAP Activate framework. So you'll start in a prepare phase, getting everyone aligned on the goals. Then you'll explore the best way to design the solution. After that, you realize it. You actually build and test it. And finally, you deploy and run it to go live and keep things optimized. And the whole time, you're using real customer success stories as your North Star.
Okay, so that's the methodology itself, but how do you go from, just hearing about it to actually being an expert who can use it effectively? Let's take a look at the learning journey SAP has laid out. The path they've created is super logical. You start with the big picture stuff, the why behind the whole thing. Then you dive into the what, the key pieces and phases that make the framework tick. And finally, you get to the how, learning to navigate the dashboard, which is basically your mission control for the whole project. It's just a very clear, easy-to-follow path to becoming an expert.
And here's the best part, honestly. The total time to get through these core units, just 95 minutes. Yeah, in a little over an hour and a half, you can get a really solid handle on a framework that's designed to manage these massive, sometimes multi-million-dollar projects. That is a fantastic return on your time.
Right, so we've seen the what and the how. But who is this really for? Who gets the most out of this journey? And what's the actual reward at the end of the road?
This methodology is aimed squarely at the people on the front lines of any big transformation. We're talking sales, pre-sales, architects, and consultants. By giving all these key players a single, common framework, it makes sure the customer gets a consistent, expert-led experience from the very first conversation. And that course completion badge, that's a tangible proof that you've got the expertise.
And this isn't some niche, one-off concept. This is a big deal. The methodology is a core, foundational piece of 15 different high-level learning journeys. So whether your world is finance or supply chain management, this framework is the common language for success. It's like the connective tissue that links a whole bunch of different SAP solutions together.
So when you put it all together, after you've done the learning, after you've mastered the phases and the tools, where are we actually trying to go? What is the single most important outcome here?
At the end of the day, every single lesson, every tool, every component of this methodology points to one thing: delivering a successful business transformation for your customers. It's about moving beyond just being a consultant or a salesperson and becoming that trusted guide who can confidently lead your clients to the real-world results they desperately need.
So really, this whole framework is about empowerment. It gives you the structure, the tools, and the clarity you need to master enormous complexity. And so the question it leaves us with is a pretty simple one. Are you ready to be the guide your customers are looking for?